There's a reason why I am the living legend of hair loss. There's a reason. I know certain things that the rest of the world can't know about hair loss, about the psychology of hair loss. I'm no hair loss expert, but I am the living legend of hair loss. And here's what I mean by that. In this video, what we want to explore is, I have said many times, your hair loss does not define you. People do not judge you and reduce you to hair loss in the same way that you reduce yourself when you look into the mirror. They don't. But when you're younger and you don't have that life experience and that emotional intelligence yet, you can't know that. You can only live in the superficial world where you're constantly asking everybody on social media if you matter. Whatever you're saying on there, you're ultimately, whatever picture you're putting there, you're ultimately never making a statement. You're always asking the question, do I matter? Am I important? Am I good looking? You're asking if you have value to the rest of the world. That's the superficial world that many of my viewers live in. And with that being said, I keep reminding you, forget about all of that. It's all garbage. I say, in reality, yes, you are absolutely judged very harshly by the rest of the world. Everybody around you is judging you severely. But it's not about your hair. So what's interesting is, I've told you many times what they're actually judging you on. And not once has anyone ever left a comment and said, Nick, I actually am all of those things, but still my hair loss bothers me. Not once. So here's your opportunity to be the exception to the rule, to prove me wrong. Check this out. In an article that I've referenced many times on Real Men, Real Style, the article is called What Makes a Guy Cool? The Meaning of Being Cool. You can Google this and look at the article right now if you want to. In reality, here's what makes you attractive, makes you cool, makes people like you. Number one, that you're friendly. Number two, that you're competent, that you're trendy, that you're desirable, that you're attractive, which is not simply limited to hair, and I've got plenty of videos about that. Number six, that you're unconventional, that you're pro-social, in other words, that you help others, that you're humorous, that you're confident, that you're emotionally controlled, I talk about that all the time, and lastly, that you are hedonistic, which ultimately means self-indulgent. I've made many videos about this. I've talked about how I actually am all those things. There's a reason I'm the living legend of hair loss, because I am those things. I know that those things actually matter, and I know how to portray that to everyone, because that really is me. What I'm saying in this video, not once have I ever heard of anyone leaving me a comment and said, hey Nick, I'm 20 years old and I've got a receding hairline and it's really bothering me, but you know what? I watched your video and then I thought about it and I decided, instead of focusing on my hair, why don't I change my life in a different way? Why don't I make it an effort from now on to start being friendly to people, making them smile, asking them how they're doing, complimenting them, being competent, understanding how the world works and understanding my own skill set, what I'm good at and what I'm bad at. That's competent. 3, being trendy. Striped shirts are in. They stand out. 4, desirable. Do I want to be around you, or are you Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh? Yeah, you can actually act certain ways and people want to be around you no matter how you look. 5, being attractive. Doesn't matter just about the hair. You may actually be an ugly dude and have a great head of hair, but you can still find ways to be attractive, and how you dress is a big part of that. Being unconventional, absolutely I'm unconventional, and so you do not want to be limited by the same ways that the rest of the world is limited in how they think and how they see. You want to be different than that. My channel absolutely is that, because I'm not trying to help people keep from going bald. I may talk about it, but that's not my goal. My goal is to help you overcome this psychologically. That's unconventional. Next, helping others. That's exactly what I'm doing. I am helping other people, otherwise they wouldn't be watching my channel. Humorous? Of course I'm funny. Confident? Undeniably, and not because of how I look, because of my accomplishments, because I'm able to become these things. What's left? Emotionally controlled? I'm completely in control of my emotions. I know when to turn this on, and I know when to turn it off. Now in real life, I'm very mild-mannered. I do not let my emotions get the best of me. In fact, when I do get emotional, it's only because I'm trying to speak to you in your own language so that you will understand, because I understand that you have to speak people's language that they speak and think in, not necessarily how they actually see the world. That's emotional intelligence. So even when I do appear to get emotional, it's probably just an act to manipulate your attention span. And then lastly, hedonistic, self-indulgent. I guess by default, it's important to be somewhat aware of yourself. Not arrogant, like, oh yeah, I'm great, I'm awesome. Self-indulgent in the way that you have a self-awareness. Because the more you understand yourself, naturally you're going to understand other people. The whole point of this video is this. I have yet to have anyone watch my video, leave a comment, and said, Nick, yeah, I am young and I am losing my hair, but you're wrong, Nick. You're wrong, because I'm all of these things, Nick, and still my hair loss bothers me. My whole point is this. If you actually focused on these things that mattered, your hair loss would not bother you. Your hair loss would not bother you if you cared about the things that actually mattered. But no one's doing that. No one's listening to me. No, actually there are some. Several people actually have admitted this. Okay, so but I was making a generalization because a lot of people, see, I know the rule. Never say always or never. You always, you never, no one, everybody. I know that that's one of the rules, to never say that. I just said never. But some people in their own limited life experience still think in that way. My point is, most people don't have the capacity to think, oh yeah, Nick's totally right about this stuff. If I just focused on this, my hair wouldn't matter. Most people can't get there. All most people can do is keep looking at their hair and assume that all of this comes later, or all this only matters when you're nearly 38. Most people don't have the ability to see this as truth. Most people don't have the ability to see this as fact. But see, that's the thing. You get to determine what is truth and what is fact. You get to determine your own reality. How you think determines your decisions. Your decisions determine your future. Imagine what a miracle it would be in your youth, 18, 20, 23, to say, you know what? Forget about my hair. Nick's right. The rest of the world's not judging me by that standard. That's me doing that. I'm self-sabotaging myself. Nick's totally right. If I would just care about these things, I don't have to be in this prison anymore, and I can live my life and enjoy my youth. Imagine that the irony that your youth is lost, is wasted on you worrying if you're going to lose your hair. And for most of you, you won't be losing your hair even by the time you're 30. You're going to waste your 20s worrying about something that's probably not even going to happen to most of you. That's irony, to lose so much over the fear of losing something. Fearing hair loss more than what hair loss can actually do to you. That would be such a tragedy if that's how you continue to live your life. That's why I invite you, and let's face it, I'm the only one inviting you. Not even your own father. Not even your own, you don't have the relationship with your father to say, hey Dad, look, let me talk to you about this. Look, my hairline's starting to recede. I'm only 21 and it's bumming me out. Are you having that conversation with him? Is he mentoring you and having a conversation with you proactively? I think that's very important. And I think what happens is I become a lot of people's dad in the process. I serve as that mentor, that father figure. I'm having these conversations that are so obvious to a guy like me, but you don't have anybody else in your life to either ask about, and they're not being proactive to talk to you about this. So I am filling that void. I'm being pro-social. I'm helping in this regard. This is what my channel is all about. Don't ask me if I'll look at pictures of your hairline. There's no point in that. You just go to your barber. They'll tell you if you've got a receding hairline. Don't ask me what the cure for hair loss is. I just spent 10 minutes of my life making a video telling you the cure for hair loss. And it's right here. It's these 11 things on Real Men, Real Style. What makes a guy cool? The real meaning of being cool. How many of you will actually care about this? You will become the winners if you do. You will have an advantage in your youth that the majority of the people on this channel watching this video, they're not going to have. They're going to lose it all. They're going to waste it all. But yet you will win. You may have the least hair. You may be the youngest. But you will win the prize of knowledge. I am Nick Shell, the living legend of hair loss. Your comments belong right here.